Hey, everybody. It's time for the Celtic Grain Radio Show. I'm very excited because for the last month, I've been doing just focus sessions where I've been focusing in on three different artists, just showing some videos. I took the month of April and just kind of did those focus sessions because I needed some time to kind of prepare for the rest of the year and just have a little bit of fun getting to know the artists that can't technically get here. So it was kind of nice to kind of show you a little bit of snippets of them and kind of show you different things. But we're back with an actual artist tonight. So yay. So I ask you, please, 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 please make sure that you comment and ask her questions. It's going to be really awesome getting to know her. She seems like a really, really cool person, and I'm really excited to get to know another person of the Celtic community. So yay, right? But tonight we're gonna have some amazing music. We're also gonna have some music that's going to kind of support and bolster our understanding and our heart for Ukraine, which is going to be really beautiful. Um I have a couple songs that are just right off the presses that got sent to me literally last week, and I changed a song out so that this song could be debuted tonight from Monoplan. As you know, Monoplan is in Russia, and he is taking his own life in his own hands to write protest songs and to get them out to us so that we can know that there are a lot of people in Russia that are standing against and saying this is not right. So I'm just saying that is something beautiful, and we're going to support him. He asked me to play this song. Please be careful on a plan. And so, but we're going to play this song for him. That's going to come a little later in the show. If you do not know, this is the Celtic Rain Radio Show. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. It's really, really been one of my heart's desires about, gosh, I don't know now, like 6 years ago now. It's kind of crazy to think about this, but I had this like thing in my heart that started, and I was like, I can't find anywhere for my stuff to be played. And I was a independent artist. We were independent artists, and I was like, okay, I can't. It costs too much. Like, you have to pay to get your stuff on the. It's ridiculous. Needless to say, I was like, there needs to be a place where independent artists and small label artists can get their stuff played and be heard. So I created the Celtic Rain Radio Show during lockdown in February of 2021, and it has been a beautiful year and a half almost now. I have interviewed people in more than 8 countries. Really crazy and beautiful to think about. And I have been able to just meet some of the most amazing people. So I'm really excited about that. Very excited. And if you are a small label or independent artist, all you have to do is send your stuff to celticgrain777@gmail.com. The only requirements I have is, number one, you have to be a small label or independent artist. Number two, your stuff needs to be family friendly, meaning, dude, no cursing, don't make fun of people, just be nice. That, come on, really. It's really not that hard. Even if you have like a whole, like, you're a country artist, you're like, yeah, I got a whole, like, I broke up with my girlfriend and so screw you, you can do that without making fun of people groups, right? You can do that without cursing. I'm going to put that one out there because a broken heart is a broken heart, and that's perfectly fine. I play all genres of music as long as they are family friendly and it's a small label or independent artist. Also, if it's more than like 8 minutes, I probably won't play it. It's just a little too long. I mean, I love you, and you can send it. And then I can, if you give me permission, I can edit it down below that or like turn it into a couple of songs. But yeah, I probably won't play. That's just a little too long. But needless to say, please send your stuff to celticrain777@gmail.com. If you are not watching on YouTube, You can watch on YouTube at www.youtube.com/C for channel/Celtic Rain, and like rain out of the sky. And then you can be on the show. Yes, that's right. You can be on the show. You can comment on there, and I put up your comments and I tell people about them. You can ask questions of the guests. It's amazing. You can tell them how beautiful they are, how much their music touched your heart. It's a beautiful, beautiful time here at the Celtic Rain Radio Show. I know. It's just what it is. Well, let me tell you about our first set of music. First, we're going to hear Razor Smile by Vazoom. Again, every single time, people, every single time I say that name, I get happy inside. And then Some Sad Stories by Brian Hinkey. Great guy. Amazing artist. And then Kendall Foise by Morant. It's a French. They're French, so probably not saying that right. As you guys know, you can make a drinking game out of how many times I completely mistranslates or missay all of the words. Just saying. Be careful and don't be stupid. But needless to say, we're gonna have some amazing music coming right now. I just hope that you understand how much I absolutely love sharing this music with you, and how much it touches my heart to be like, you guys, here's some of the best music out there. You guys ready? Here we go.
Like a my pulse, and we'll have sad stories never end. I hear a mother weep, a ghost that never sleeps or dreams or is awakened. Her love is buried deep. Some broken hearts never mend. Some sad stories never end. Some broken hearts never mend. Some sad stories never end. In darkness is a light, a love that burns there still. Behind a window shattered, a house upon the hill. Some broken hearts never mend. Some sad stories never end. Some broken hearts never mend. Some sad stories never end. Some sad stories never end. Some sad stories never end.
Chante de l'aube à l'aube, aucun mot ne seras-tu, comme la chandelle fauve brûle de tourments aigus. J'ai attendu tant et tant sur la grève que tu apparaisses, sur un grand cheval blanc, au voile gonflé d'argent, au voile gonflé d'argent.
L'océan n'est pas si grand, tout petit le firmament, pour l'homme qui revient, pour la femme qui attend. Si jamais tu ne venais, que ma chandelle s'éteint, usée par les crocs du destin, sache que jamais je n'oublierai les mots échangés, les mots échangés. Resteront gravés en moi comme le sel sur le rocher, l'écume sur les récifs, les baisers de l'océan marquent jusqu'au sang.
Morant is one of those artists that's just ridiculous beautiful. And they keep telling me that they're gonna eventually come on the show, and I'm like, okay, please, please come on the show, please. So like, I don't know, we'll see when it happens, but they're French, so they live in France. We are from France. So I don't know. We'll have to see, but we'll have to see. We did have some comments. One actually, both were from the same person, Creaky Dog. Actually, we'll be playing one of his songs later, but he said, liking the Brian. Good job. Yeah, Brian Hinkey is one of these guys. I have had him on once, and he is amazing. He's got these crazy fingers that do these crazy things with stringed instruments, and he's like my husband. You kind of look at him and go, what planet are you from? But then Seam Creaky Dog says again, Morant, very nice. I know, just amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. But we are gonna actually have a beautiful person on with me. I'm so excited because this is a brand new artist. You guys have never heard her stuff yet. So tonight is her debut. I'm just saying. You guys ready for Ginger? Hi, Ginger. How are you?
How are you doing, Rebecca? I'm doing
Good.
great this evening.
Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're here with us. I would put my drum down because holding a drum through a whole situation is always a fun situation. I always seem to have a drum in my hand anyways. It is just the way of my life usually. So I'm like, oh, right. I have a drum in my hand. Oh, right. That's where that is. It's hilarious to me because I'm, but if I'm not singing, I'm drumming. If I'm not drumming, I'm singing. And I'm usually doing both. So, and totally, I'm like, oh, right. Let me put this down. But how are you doing? So, where are you from, my dear?
Originally, I'm from Texas, but
Oh,
I live very happily in Cleveland, Ohio.
there you
This
go.
day.
So, all you Ohio people, she's in Ohio. Say hi, Ohio. But so yeah, so that's pretty awesome. So, how long have you been doing music?
I've been doing well. Music has been part of my life since the very beginning. I mean, just actually, my safe place for everything when I was little bitty was under the grand piano, the baby grand piano my parents had. Because I was
Nice.
shy and I would hide under the piano where, of course, nobody could see me.
Yeah.
But I've been playing music and making music ever since I was little. I stepped out and started doing stuff in public the mid '90s at
Nice.
the Ren fairs in Texas and Oklahoma and Louisiana. So
So, was your music education, was it just pretty much homegrown music education, or did you go to
um,
school, or
oh
how did
gosh,
that work?
my father was his family was from Slovenia, from the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and he had this love for music, and he would bring out the old records, and we would listen to music from all over the world,
Oh, that's
from
wonderful.
Eastern Europe to Mexico to the Caribbean to the old French Edith Piaf and just
Love it.
music from all over, and so it was very much a part of our life growing up. So I grew up on a lot of the old folk songs. It and grew up singing them. A lot of them they were in different languages, but I grew up singing them phonetically.
Nice.
But and then found out later I was still saying the correct, making the correct pronunciations when I grew up and sang them to my kids.
That's
Um,
wonderful.
but I wrote little songs when I was growing up and all through high school, and I didn't get to study music in college. My father didn't think it appropriate. He didn't think I'd be able to support myself as an artist. So he said if I was going to have college paid for, it would have to be something like economics major or whatever, which lasted about a year. Then I went in the Navy. So what the heck?
Right, right.
First thing I
It's
bought was
so
a
funny.
guitar.
Yeah, I teach voice at Carmel School of Rock, and there's a young man who came in, and he's like, "I want to be a musician." I'm like, "Great," because that's what I do. And he goes, "But my dad wants me to be a lawyer," and I'm like, "Good luck with that."
Yep.
Good luck
Yep.
with that one.
Time and
But
time
yeah,
again.
yeah, I do think though it's really interesting most of the time. I mean, very traditional though. You learn by rote, and that's how things were passed down. Anyways, they were learned by
Absolutely.
rote, and so these beautiful folk songs from generations beyond generations that just haunt our spirits because, frankly, they were the call of a generation of a people's heart, and so that is a always a great way to learn music. I understand that completely. That's really awesome though. That what a rich background in music though, to be able to know, hey, from a young age, all these different styles, and
Well,
that's beautiful.
there's something even more special about it because I inherited my father's vinyl collection. I've got over 800 discs down here. I'm trying to gradually get them digitized.
I was about to say.
But I mean, I've got Don Cossacks from before World War One.
Wow.
I've got the very old the true Hungarian gypsy, the Bulgarian, the Romanian music, all of these wonderful things that I grew up with. The the re-recorded wax cylinders that my grandfather brought over on the ship with him.
That's amazing.
And
That's
so, and
amazing.
I'm able to connect with different ethnic groups, especially here in Cleveland, where they are so this city is so rich in the
Yes,
world culture that exists here. And so
absolutely.
I'm able to share some of this music and get insights on it. So, yeah,
That's
this is,
really
and
amazing.
I'm able to pass it on. It's not going to get lost, not on my watch.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So the question, do you play with other people? Or are you a solo artist? How does your music work?
Oh, right now I'm a solo artist. Although give me any excuse to jam and I'm there. There's
Right?
an Irish duo in town called the New Barleycorn, and they let me come up on stage and penny whistle with them whenever I'm
Oh,
with
that's
them.
awesome.
Um, and I have had a band in the past called Rowan Moon. Um,
Nice.
and but when I moved out of Texas, that was sort of done. Um, we'll see what happens and what other collaborations happen, and that's something that COVID, as bad as that is, that's something that opened up, at least for me, and for several other artists I know. I knew before I could probably figure a way to long distance collaborate, but with everything shut down, I was forced into it if I
Yes.
wanted to keep going. And so a lot of my recent stuff includes artists from all over the place.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So I did actually on your Facebook page, I raid people's Facebook page for pictures.
Awesome.
And I totally rated yours. And I saw a picture with you with Brian Hinkey in it. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh, there you go. So I know you know him. So I was
absolutely.
like, hey, there you are. So
Yeah,
that was
there's
that was
several of
kind
his
of a cool
albums that he
situation.
had me playing penny whistle on. So, and
Oh, there you go.
he produced one of my albums, The Elf King's Horn.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, he is one of these artists that you just kind of he's got such a sweet spirit about him, but his talent for strings is just ridiculous,
It
and you
is.
just kind of sit back and you just go, we are not worthy. And my husband's a lot like that too, and I'm just like, dude, play that thing, have fun with it. So yeah, I love collaborating. One of my favorite things to do in the whole world is to get musicians together and be like, okay, so here's what my idea is, and you put your 2 cents in, and let's just see what happens. I love that. That's probably my favorite way to work, because I feel like, okay, I can sing like there's no tomorrow. I can play Celtic drum and been playing it for years. I'm just learning bass, but you know your instrument better than I do. So here's the overall, show me what you got. Let's figure it out together. That process is probably one of the most wonderful processes. I love that process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So what instruments do you play? So you play penny whistle,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes. And
So what else do you play?
I play an instrument called the auto harp.
Yep,
Not,
I have one of
not every,
those.
yeah, not everybody has heard of that. I'm constantly, when I'm out at festival, people come up and say, well, can you play your harpsichord and play this song? And I'm like, I am not Mozart. I am not Mozart.
Harpsichord is a lot bigger.
Yes. Yes.
A lot bigger.
It has keys.
Yeah.
I just have
You should
buttons.
show it. Don't you have it? You have it right next to you?
Actually, yes. Yep.
Oh, that's
I've got
cool.
one of
Show
them.
us the harps.
Yep.
Nice.
There she is.
So tell us how this works. How does the auto harp work? Show us.
All right. I've got 37 strings here. Now most auto harps have you press one button, you get one clean chord. This one is a special one. It's set up in a prism formation. Pete Daigle out on the West Coast made it for me. And this one is very special because she's carbon fiber, and her name, she is actually the model is called the Freedom Harp, and her name is the Muse. So I use two buttons to now when you have the one button configuration, you can only get majors, minors, and sevenths, unless you've got a diatonic, but you're still limited to one chord, one button. With the two button configuration, because I can make all sorts of different combinations here. I can get over 100 chords on this. So that's the way we work with this one. And
that's really interesting.
You were talking about Brian Hankey. He invited me at one point to go out to the big Walnut Valley Music Festival in Kansas. And while I was there, I was adopted by the fingerstyle guitarist because I don't play auto harp like the rest of the auto harpists. So
that's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I have an auto harp. It needs a lot of love right now because like some of the pads are gone, and so I need to get it refurbished.
yes.
But once I do, I'm very much excited about learning it. I have a soft spot in my heart for instruments, and our house is kind of ridiculous. We have ridiculous amounts of instruments in our house because I married a musician, and if you know anything about a musician marrying a musician, then you know that your house is always crammed full of instruments of all kinds.
Yes.
And you end up with no room to live because there's so many instruments. And that's pretty much my life.
Yeah, well, I also play the bodhrán. I also play the Irish drum and some African hand drums. I play various shakers, and I play the keyboard and sticks and whatever else gets in my way. It's all music, and I live next door to a drummer. So,
there you go. Exactly. What's so funny, I don't know if do you know have you heard of Fraggle Rock?
Oh yes.
Okay, so I grew up on Fraggle Rock, and I have raised my son on it because you should always do that. And there's one little episode that I remember for my whole life because I was young when I was watching this. But the one, do you remember the episode where the guy's like, one of the Fraggles is like, you can make music out of everything. And, the things are starting to drip, drip, drip. You can hear music everywhere. And
Yes, you
I
can.
think, yeah, and it was kind of one of those things that I don't know how old I was. I was young and watching this, and I thought, oh my gosh, like, my little tiny little brain was like, bing. And I was like, because I was already, I've been singing since I was born, and professionally been singing since I was 3. So it was like, okay. So for my little brain, it was like, that's true. Like my whole little mind, my whole little 6 or 7-year-old mind was like, Mom, I learned this beautiful thing that you should know. Like she didn't already know this, because, all children are discovering things for the first time. And so therefore we are too, because
Right.
that's just the way life goes. And I was just like, you'll never believe this. Guess what thing I've learned on Fraggle Rock? Music is everywhere. This poor child, and I've got hair that's like way down. I'm like running around. Look at all the music I can do. And I was the first child, so my mom was like, "You're perfect, of course." Yes, exactly. Because firstborns. There you go. But yeah, it was hilarious. But so that totally reminded me of that. I was like, I learned that on Fraggle Rock.
Oh yeah. And I remember that episode. Yeah. I raised my kids on Fraggle Rock too. So
thank you. Good parents do. Just saying. It's the best ever. Awesome. Well, we do have a song from you actually called One with the Earth. Tell me about this song.
Yep.
So tell me about this song.
Oh, One with the Earth. I was kneeling down in the vegetable garden, and I have been writing a lot of chants, a lot of earth-based stuff. That's where my spirituality lies, and it's just like I realized that all of the elements were right there at my fingertips, and that's what was making the stuff grow, even the weeds. And all of the little creepy crawlies that were in the garden, and I'm like, I am so one with you. I am one with the earth. Oh, I am one with the elements. Wow, this is what gave us birth. Wow, air and fire and water and earth, and we're all put together by spirit. Yeah, spirit. And it's so and so it was just like I could feel a rhythm, and it just started pouring out of me. And I'm like, okay, I got to stop weeding, and I have to run in and write this down now. So that's the way it happened. And my neighbor, Sue Balashak, has got a really, really good drum band and percussion. And she writes music for drums. Nice. And she put the drum to it. And I did the recording and engineering, and it's one of my very favorite tunes.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, we're going to be listening to that. You're going to be doing a little bit of chair dancing with us and having a lot of fun. I'm going to let you go for just a minute so I can introduce the songs, but we're going to have you right back. Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds great. Well, you guys, she's like a little druid sister. It's amazing. Well, we are going to actually listen to One with the Earth, and then we're going to listen to, obviously, by Ginger Ackley, and then we're going to listen to For His Head is Hollow and I Have Touched Spock's Brain by 5 Year Mission. Yes, 5 Year Mission is the group that does songs about Star Trek. So there you go. It's a beautiful thing. And then we're going to listen to Irish Rover by Celtic Rain, which is my group. So yay. All these beautiful, beautiful tunes coming up just, right now. You guys ready for some great music? Here we go.
one with the earth, one with the elements, one with the earth, one with the elements, one with the earth, one with the elements that gave us birth. Air and fire, water and earth, and spirit, we are spirit. Oh, one with the earth, one with the elements, one with the earth, one with the elements, one with the earth, one with the elements that gave us birth. Air and fire, water and earth, and spirit, we are spirit. Oh! One with the earth, one with the elements, one with the earth, one with the elements, one with the earth, one with the elements that gave us birth. Air and fire, water and earth, and spirits, we are spirits, we are spirits. We are spirits.
It came from the planet Vulcan, shuffling through the darkness in ominous silence. More machine than man, striking terror into the hearts of all who meet it in its unrelenting search to find.
Irish rover. Some of us are Scottish, some of us are Irish, and some of us are mutts. Most of us are mutts.
Most of us are mutts.
Hey! Hey!
In the year of our Lord 1806, we set sail from the cold Quay of Cork. We were sailing away with a cargo of bricks for the Grand City Hall in New York. Was a wonderful she was big fore and aft, and oh how the wild winds drove. She ran 27 masts and withstood several blasts, and they called her the Irish Rover. Hey! Hey! We had 1 million bags of the best Sligo rags. We had 2 million barrels of stone. We had 3 million sides of old blind horses' hides. We had 5 million barrels of bones. We had 4 million hogs and 6 million dogs and 8 million barrels of porter. We had 8 million bales of old Nanny Goat's tails and the whole of the Irish Rover. Now there was old Mickey Coot who played hard on his flute when the ladies lined up for a set. He was tooting with skill for his sparkling quadrille, though the dancers were flothered and bet. With his smart witty talk he was cock all the walk, and he rode the dames under and over. They all knew at a glance when he took up his stance that he sailed in the Irish Rover. For a sailor it's always a bother in life. It's so lonesome by night and day that he longs for the shore and a charming young friend who will melt all his troubles away. For the noise and the routes will point in the snout, and for whom the soon torments over. Of the love of a maid he is never afraid, an old salt from the Irish Rover. We had sailed 7 years when the measles broke out and the ship lost its way in the fog. And that whale of a crew was reduced down to 2, just myself and the captain's old dog. Then the ship struck a rock. Oh Lord, what a shock. The bulkhead was turned right over, turned 9 times around, and the poor old dog was drowned. I'm the last of the Irish Rover. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Well, you guys, I took myself off. I was like, hey, that's the end of that. Right. But not the end of the show. Just saying. We have some amazing music coming up for you right now. Actually, our third set is full of amazing, amazing music. I wanted to let you guys know about that, but we also need to let you know if you are a small label or independent artist and you want your stuff played on this show, it's really, really easy. All you have to do is send me MP3s to CelticRain777@gmail.com. That's CelticRain777@gmail.com. And believe me, I play all genres. all genres of music, all of it. You'll hear every genre that I have at this moment. Well, not all tonight, but a good portion of them tonight. So I like pick and choose. I try to put a little bit of everything into every show. That way, if you like country, you got it. If you like world music, you got it. If you like rock music, you got it. If you like jazz, you got it. So that I love being able to. I truly believe that music is what feeds us. And so no matter what you feel like at that moment, there's always something that can express how you're feeling. And I have been blown away by the music that's been sent to me. There are so many amazing small label independent artists out there that I applaud you guys. Well, we're going to listen to a little bit more of that. We're actually going to listen to a song called Success by Ken Fitz. It's a country tune. And then we're going to listen to The Fourth Seal by Doug Fox. And Doug Fox actually just put up a few comments we had actually. Sorry, that wasn't Doug Fox. That was Quincy. Quincy said, "Hey kids, hope all is well. Sounding great as usual." And Natalie was beautiful chant, Ginger. Loved it. See, there you go. I love it when we get to introduce you guys to so many beautiful new musicians out there for you. Obviously, they might not be necessarily new for them, but for you, they are new, and you get to follow them and find out about them. The last song we're actually going to have in this next set is called Mastermind by Victor Sierra. I am working on getting them on the show because, good Lord, if I can get Victor Sierra on the show, I'll be like a pretty little kitty. I'll be so freaking happy. I'm going to tell you right now. I'll be like, I am a big fan now. I didn't even know who they were until I started sending out things to start this show. I was like, hey, you guys, anybody want your music played? And they sent me like a bunch of stuff. And I was like, holy crap, they're amazing. So I have become a fan of Victor Sierra. And if you're not a fan of Victor Sierra, it's okay. We'll pray for you. It's all right. You just haven't heard them. That's what it is. So now you get to hear them. So you guys ready for some amazing, amazing music? Okay, here we go.
Well, I'm on the road again, wondering where it will all end. Every time I try to breathe, I find myself in a choking, desperate need. And soon the moon will rise up into the darkened sky. And if
when you broke the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature saying, "Come." And I looked, and behold, an ashen horse, and he who sat on it had the name Death, and Hades was following with him. And authority was given to them over a fourth of the earth to kill with the sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth.
Some answers too. I was the that I'd get up and say hello. Hear myself saying, it's time now, go, go, go. I was alive, dancing on the borderline, but left me apart. I feel like a mastermind. You won't find me, or we'll be in the wind, but dancing fine. I feel like a mastermind. I was alive, dancing on the borderline, but left me apart. I feel like a mastermind. You won't find me, for we'll be in the wind, but dancing fine. I feel like a mastermind.
I'm Ginger Ackley. This is for Ukraine.
See the sunflowers on the hill. In our hearts they're shining still. Beyond this time of war and pain, we will see them bloom again. Blossoms in the barrel of every foreign gun, seeds in every pocket until the freedom's won. See the sunflowers on the hill.
For Ukraine.
That was Miss Ginger. We're going to have her on. That was beautiful, Ginger. Tell us about that whole situation and what brought about that little video and that beautiful little song.
I've been doing something. I mean, you brought this show into being during the lockdown, during the pandemic, and I did something of the same thing. In actually March of 2020, when the first lockdown hit, I was supposed to go into a shop in Lakewood, Ohio, and do like a little monthly workshop to help bring music into the community. And we couldn't go any place. So I called the lady. I said, what do you want me to do? And she said, oh, just take it online. And I didn't know how, but I figured it out in an hour and a half. But ever since then, it's called Enchantica, and it is
nice.
The chants. I was just trying to sing just to give people some sort of sense of togetherness, some connection with each other. And the more I sang, the more the muse poured stuff into my head. And so when something like the war in Ukraine happened, I've already got this sort of flow going, and I saw the sunflowers, and I saw people being sad. I mean, in my head, it was like this movie where they were going away and looking back over their shoulders, looking at the sunflowers. And I kept wanting to tell them it's going to be all right. It's going to come back. And the song just happened. And this past weekend, I had such an immense honor. There was a gentleman who is originally from Ukraine. He's a very, very good photographer, Vadim Gulyk. I hope I said that correctly, but I understand pronunciations are wibbly wobbly here.
I'm horrible at them.
But he was at the Northeast Ohio Fantasy Festival, and he took some pictures of me as Posey. That's that's how I appeared this past weekend.
Nice.
I'm a flower pixie, but I when I found out he was from Ukraine, I said, please allow me to play this song for you. So I did. And he videoed it with his phone. And then the next day he said, would you please sing that song again? I shared it with some people in Ukraine, and I want to do a better job of the video. So he said, would you mind wearing the Ukrainian flag?
That's
And I said,
beautiful.
it would be a deep honor. I would, please. And so he draped very carefully and very gently draped the Ukrainian flag around me and set up the lights and everything. And then I played the song, and the sunflowers
Beautiful.
will bloom again.
Yes,
And
they will.
we hold them in our hearts until then. But I'm from the generation where we stuck flowers in the barrels of the guns during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And then the grandmothers, my generation is also the grandmothers putting seeds in the pockets of the soldiers. So
Yeah. Well, and it is so true. There's so much to, you can either take this as just such a heavy time, or you can see that we need to stand up for these people because they are connected to us just as much as we are connected. They are connected to us just as much as we are connected to them, and to say we're here for you and with you, and at the same time, this too shall pass, and we will help bring it about. It's time for us to say, okay, enough is enough, and it's time to stand up in this world against just things that just aren't right,
yes,
and stop the selfishness and just go forward with it. I'm not going to get all political and say how, because that's not really what the show's about. But at the same time, the show is about love, and bringing together communities that necessarily wouldn't come together otherwise. So and so I think there is an interesting way of saying, okay, yeah, these songs may not necessarily be together. Yeah, all these genres. Someone told me in the beginning when I started the show, are you sure you want to play all the genres? And I'm like, yes, because it shows that no matter our differences, we can still be a community. And it has so worked because of our differences, not because of our similarities. And I think in this instance with Ukraine, it's the same thing. Us standing with them the strength will come because of our differences, not because of our similarities, all of it. But yeah, thank you so much for that song. And it's a beautiful tune. So what else do you do besides music, or do you just get to do music?
Music is my main thing. I
Nice.
also sew and create various garments. I like to make cloaks and capes, and I like to do embroidery.
Nice.
I also love to cook and to write. The writing has sort of been an offshoot of the music, and it's I know the muse. I talk about the little muse. I tell people she's about 3.5 feet tall. She's got long dark hair, bright green eyes, and she wears steel-toed army boots.
Nice.
And when she wants my attention, she kicks me in the shins. So if I'm limping, that's why.
It's my kind of girl. There you
But
go.
she will come and she will start singing in my dreams. There was one that woke me up in the middle of the night, and it was like, rowing my boat, oh, rowing my boat, we're catching some stardust. Rowing my boat, oh, rowing my boat, guess we're going to need a bigger boat. And I heard that in harmony and in a round in the middle of the night in a dream. And it was so loud that I had to get up and try to catch the song. And I was half asleep, and I'm going, yeah, I keep typing ROWAN, and I'm going, but it's supposed to be, it's not this, it's a tree. What? What's with this? And she goes, glad you asked. And she started literally dictating into my head. And so I'm sitting here typing like this, typing like this. And about an hour later, I have a children's book.
That's beautiful.
And so that's I've got that book, and I've got two other children's books in the fire. So writing has become a thing, and I've just recently become published in some magazines. So
it's wonderful.
I'm sort of doing it as it comes along.
Absolutely. So I mean, you kind of talked a little bit about your writing process. What is your process for writing music? Is it just that you get inspired and then it happens, or do you have more of a process?
Well, let's go back to what you were talking about, that beautiful childhood discovery. There's music everywhere. Everything is music. It's vibration. I feel it. I hear it. I hear it in the wind and the rain. I hear it in even the noise in traffic jams. Just and the birds, of course, and being connected with the muse. I'll pick up the harp and just I'll be just wanting to practice, do some chords and runs and stuff, and she'll go, oh no, here's this and this and this, listen, oh, there's a melody, and then the words just seem to start coming from that. Or something will happen like the war in Ukraine, and I'll go, I wish I had a song, and boom, it's there. Sometimes, and I've done several songs. There's a feeling that I'm going to need these words in the future, and so I've got booklets and notepads and envelope covers and napkins and whatever, and they're just filled with sort of stream of consciousness words. Nice. And then all of a sudden I'm going, oh, that's what that means, and then pull them together, and oh, there's that verse, there's that chorus, and oh, that's the word that was missing, and or somebody will say, hey, do you have a song about? And I'll go, no, but I bet I will. It's just that the very suggestion of it seems to open the door. Yeah. I practice a lot, but then, like I said, the muse sort of sends the melodies and the notes running in different patterns, and that's what she wants me to do. And sometimes it's crazy because it's like half an hour before Enchantica is supposed to start on a Wednesday evening, and she goes, oh, here's a new one. I want this one tonight. Literally half an hour old, and I'm playing it out for the world. And
that's wonderful. Where can we see Enchantica?
Enchantica is on Facebook. I do it Facebook Live every Wednesday at 7:00 on Eastern Time. Look for the new moon Enchantica Circle, and that's where I am. And Rebecca, it is completely amazing. This is over 2 years now, every Wednesday. Nice. Every single Wednesday since the second week in March of 2020. We have people that have come into Enchantica from Romania and Bulgaria, the Netherlands, Norway. We have several groups because Facebook does save the video each week. And we have several groups that download the video in Australia, New Zealand. Nice. There were several artists in New Zealand that said, hey, you want to collaborate? I'm going, well, this is a long distance one. We've had somebody from Japan, down in South America. There was somebody in Brazil, and nice. Peru and Bolivia, Mexico, all over the country. We have one gentleman that comes in almost every week from Germany, and it's like 1:00 in the morning there, but he's right there. And so nice. It's just, and now that we're starting to get out and go to festivals, I have people coming up to me and saying, I listen to you every Wednesday. And
Oh,
she said, this it happened this past weekend, and a girl came up and she said, it usually shows my name as this, but I'm really Corey. Or and then I had two other
yeah.
people that say, oh, play something from Enchantica because that's what we like to sing now, and
Yeah.
just blows me away.
Isn't it amazing? I have people do the same thing with this show.
Hmm.
Went to a science fiction convention and they're like, "Hey, Rebecca." And I'm like, "Hey." I don't know who the heck they are. They know me, because I
Yeah,
come into their life every Tuesday night. And I'm just like, "Hi." And you just say hi and get to know them a little more. And they're great people, and it's just like, but it blows your mind because you don't realize how many people you're touching this way.
right.
And using this platform for, and how much it actually does impact people's lives. It
Yeah,
really, really does.
there was about a month ago, there seemed to be in my family and in the family and friends and the circles within circles with it going out, there seemed to be so many people dying, so
Mm,
many people losing members of, and it wasn't just COVID, it was just
just
stuff.
things, just life.
And
Yeah.
just it, and I started feeling that, and I was sent a really special chant called Hail the Traveler.
Oh, wow.
And And, normally you would think that'd be a really sad sort of thing, but it was, our soul is made to travel to the stars. Hail the
Yes.
traveler. And then the
Oh,
third time around, even though I was looking at the words, our soul is made to travel, what came out of my mouth was, our soul is meant to travel to the stars. And all of a sudden there was just this joy that came out of it. And it was like, wow, somebody's singing through me, because that wasn't me.
that's
But
beautiful.
it and people are now asking for it when they've been touched by
Yeah.
somebody passing. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna listen to "Come the Green Man." Tell me about that
oh,
song.
this was one of those where somebody said, hey, do you have a song about the Green Man? And I said, no. I think he's mentioned in one song, but it's not really about him. But I kind of get a feeling I'm gonna have it. um, So, and it did, it just came, it just flowed. And
Mm.
because once upon a time back when I lived in Texas, I had this really weird experience of looking up and seeing the spring foliage, and it looked like it formed a face in the trees. You
Mm,
mentioned being druid. Yeah. Um, so in about 3 days, it was written and ready. And I
nice.
had a meeting. These were older women, and we were meeting together in a park on a Saturday morning. And I said, "You want to hear what happened when you asked me about the Green Man?" And they said, "Oh yeah." So I played it, and at the end of it, all three of us looked up, and there was a huge old oak tree in the park, and all three of us saw the face in the tree.
Wow.
I'm the Green Man. Yep.
Nice. Well, we're gonna
And
listen to that,
again,
and you're
Sue
gonna.
Sue Belichick gave us the drum line on it, and it's
Oh,
just,
there you go. There you go.
it's an
That's
honor.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, we're gonna listen to that, and you're gonna do a little more dancing with us. But I'm gonna say goodbye for just a minute so I can introduce the songs, and then we'll have you back on. Okay?
Yay!
Yay! Well, guys, I know Ginger is okay, there are people in life you're like, okay, I know we're going to be friends forever. And there's a click there. And I am feeling that with Miss Ginger. So I'm really excited about that. That makes me beautifully happy inside. I actually, let me tell you about the next songs that are coming though. Come the Green Man by Ginger Ackley. And then we have Angel Pulse Lendigo, Denya. Okay, understand it's Russian. Okay, but this is by Monoplan, and I want to say something about this. Monoplan wrote this and sent it to me literally like 3 days ago, and said, "Rebecca, will you play this Now, understand he's in Russia. Okay, so he's taking a really big chance here. But it's a protest song in Russian about Ukraine against Russia. So, Monoplan, be careful. We love you. And we want to make sure that you stay safe. That's why I will only be putting Monoplan on there. You can find his Facebook page, but I'm not going to put his real name ever so that he is protected because he's doing good work and sending it out into the universe. And I want to make sure he is protected. But we are going to play his brand new protest song. And I want to make sure that he knows that we love him. Also, we're going to play a song called Chances. I wrote this song. And it's from, you'll hear my little baby voice from college because I recorded this actually in college with a group of gospel singers that I sang with in college. So it's my little baby voice before when you get older, your voice gets a little deeper and a little richer. And but in this recording, I think I'm like, no lie, I think I'm like 21. God, it's my little baby voice. So needless to say, it's Chances. So you're going to hear this beautiful song about the chances that you have in your life to touch people and to love people. So yeah, it's gorgeous music. And I hope you guys enjoy the gorgeous music. You guys ready? Here we go.
Through the branches, through the leaves, from the wilder lands he sees, the birds are his heralds. The wind is his song, the river his fiddle, and the earth is his drum. Come, the green man, stay not apart. Come, the green man, come dance in our hearts. Come, the green man, stay not apart. Come, the green man, come dance in our hearts. Come, the green man.
мне в лицо. Я ангел последнего дня. Загляни мне в глаза, в них боль и пламя войны. Там, где стелется горький дым, в оглушающий миг тишины ты услышишь мои шаги и узнаешь меня. Я хожу среди вас эти долгие тысячи лет. Мои руки стали черны от крови бесчисленных битв. Я пришедший в ответ на зов ваших песен и ваших молитв, в этот проклятый круг, из которого выхода нет. Выхода нет. Стать свободным и взмыть в небеса, вот и все, чего я хочу. Но опять среди мрачных руин я стою один в тишине. Ведь пока хоть один из вас призывает меня во тьме, для меня есть работа, и значит я снова приду. И пока хоть один из вас призывает меня во тьме, для меня есть работа, и значит я снова приду. Снова приду.
Again, that was something I wrote a really long time ago. It's kind of interesting to think about too, because you grow in your spirituality in so many different ways. And now, as a Druid Christian, there's even more like overarching understandings. And if you don't know, I am a minister, so I probably should not preach a sermon on here. But needless to say, it's a lot of fun to look back at your old self and your old music and be like, oh my gosh, my heart was so wanting certain things. But what my heart wants now is to say, hi, Miss Ginger, how are you?
I'm doing quite well. Doing quite well.
Good, good. I'm glad. Well, we are. I know there's so many new things happening now that things are opening back up, and so many things. I mean, during lockdown, I don't know about you, but I just wrote and wrote and wrote. I had so much music, it's ridiculous. But and now that lockdown is no longer, I get to start playing that music. So and recording that music. So what is new with you, my dear?
Actually, the newest thing is the Enchantica album, the first
Nice.
Enchantica album. And it has been so much fun to do that, because it's grown over the 2 years. And actually, I think I've got enough original stuff now to maybe add 2 more albums to that.
Nice.
But the Enchantica album is really neat. It's what really intrigued me about the whole Enchantica process was that it attracted people from all different spiritual walks.
That's beautiful.
We have so many different paths that have, because whatever creator spirit you think of,
Mm-hmm.
we're all made from the same elements. We're all the
Yes.
spirit pulled everything together. So I always start with Stardust, which is a little creation story that's put to music. And it's just in the time before time, in the dark before dark. And the great mother sits there and she holds out her hand, and there's one tiny mote of stardust. And then she whispers air and fire and water and earth, and then life begins. So it helps us to remember that Creator made us from the elements, and that's why we honor the elements the way we do. And so I go through each of the elements, and then there's kind of a progression through the album where it brings the whole community together. And there's one called the viral chant that was sparked by a friend, a Druid friend in Great Britain, in the UK. And he was very sad that 2020 summer solstice, that he could not come together with his normal group. And he posted a beautiful, poignant phrase: "When shall we all meet again, heart to heart and hand to hand?"
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I started hearing music. And there were verses that came, and the last verse is calling on different spiritual entities to help us in our healing. Beautiful. And I kept saying, this is just the working title, the viral chant. And everybody that was in Enchantica said, that's the name of the song. Don't look for anything else.
Yeah. But, stop.
Yeah. But there were the collaborations and just the reaching out to people. And I had so many requests for the music that I went ahead. I made a lyrics book that has got the chords in it. And it's really they're songs that are supposed to go out. They're supposed to go out and be used and be shared. So,
well, that's beautiful.
It's been a lot of fun.
I could see something like that being used in a lot of different services.
Absolutely.
I know for us, we have I'm the pastor of a church called Indie Connection Church, and we do it's an interfaith service. So it's Druid and Christian and whoever else wants to come together and worship together. And we're very particular about saying it's not Unitarian in that people are allowed to come and believe and speak of, whereas others say, well, let's just make it all, and but we do speak about all of them, and but my husband has written several Druid to the Grove songs, and we've put them in. But I could see our group using something like that, because there are such a mix of people. That is a beautiful resource for sure.
There is a way that I've evolved into thinking about spirituality, that creator spirit, whatever name you want to give it, whether it's God or Ugga Bugga, I don't care. I really don't. That is a real entity and a real personality, and it wants to interact with us. So it tends to turn the face towards us that we will connect with the best.
Yeah.
And if that's male, great. If it's female, great. If it's something in between, that's great too. If it's a tree that talks to you, if it's the Greek gods and goddesses, if it's the voodoo and entities, if that's what connects you with spirit, then that's what's right. And I have no right to tell you you're wrong, because spirit is spirit. And I grew up with a very tiny slice of spirituality, but it was religious. But as I've become spiritual, that has become such a bigger slice. And I know there's so much more to discover.
So where do we find this resource that you're speaking of that we could get from you possibly?
Well, I have Ginger Ackley, gingerackley.com. Let's see. I was instructed, Ginger Ackley, GingerAckley.com.
Perfect.
And I've got my website, and I've got links to where you can get the music there. You can also email me if you want like autographed copies and that sort of thing. I also have a lot of children's music that I've written that is children's spirit music. And just having fun and learning about spirituality, but nothing shoved down any throat. It's fun songs.
Right.
And I'm also on Bandcamp and on Facebook. I'm Ginger Ackley Music on Facebook.com/Ginger Ackley Music. I'm on, you can find my music on Amazon now, and CD Baby. So, and if there's anybody out there that wants me to come perform, just contact me and we'll work it out.
Absolutely.
So, have carpool travel.
Yes, have on carpool travel. Just so you guys, just for clarification for everyone, you can find her stuff at gingerackley.com. That's GingerAckley.com. You can also find her on Facebook at facebook.com/Ginger Ackley Music, GingerAckley Music. And you can find her on Bandcamp and other places. We are so excited. We are going to listen to one more of your songs. So tell us about this next song, Many Days.
Oh, Many Days. Many Days is a very, very special song. It's kind of a fusion song. It started with Brian Whitney, who started the great grassroots music organization, Just Plain Folks. And he posted a wonderful quote from James Joyce's Ulysses. about how we are constantly meeting ourselves. We see old men and young men and young mothers and old women and robbers and ghosts, but we're constantly meeting ourselves. And like the muse does with me, I started hearing music, but it didn't seem to really go much of anywhere at the time. Then I ran across a young man in New Jersey, one of these long distance collaborations, and he bills himself as Cloud the Pagan Rapper, and he really does some really cool stuff with the pagan philosophy and rap. I'm not a huge rap fan, but I am a huge spoken word fan.
Yeah.
And I didn't like rap because of all of the gangster connotations and the violence and that sort of thing. But when it is used as spoken word, that it can be just as powerful as a sung word.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm singing about many days and following this path that James Joyce laid out, and then Cloud comes in the middle of it and presents this beautiful spoken rap rhythmic poetry that really pulls that quote into where it needs to go.
Nice.
So I mean, I've always had more than one leg in the Celtic genre, and this just James Joyce. What can I say?
There you go. There you go. We're going to listen to that and a few other songs, and then you're going to say good evening with us. So I will bring you right back. Bye. Well, guys, yes, we have Many Days by Ginger Ackley. And then we have the Graphs Bay, The Thundering Herd by Laughing Jack. And then we have Broken Blank by Sid 31. And our last song is Kelly Ann's Song by Creaky Dog. So you guys ready for this absolutely beautiful music? All right, guys. Here we go.
Life, many days time, many days love, many days time, many days all of our days so, many days so, many ways all of our days life, many days time, many days love, many days time, many days time is a gift that we live every day. Old men and young, girls and mothers, there's good folk and there's bad folk and the robbers and the ghosts from the past life. Many days time, many days love, many days time, many days time is a gift that we live every day.
Time, it's a fickle thing, passing us by, we don't even see. Before you know it, you've lost your way. The culmination of inaction for so many days. So what you gonna do with your time? Hurry up and wait just to stand in line. Let the world's mysteries pass you by. When you can be present, let your spirit shine. We only got one life. Think about it, young, what you gonna do with your time?
Life, many days time, many days love, many days time.
So what you gonna do with your time?
Many days all of our days so, many days so, many ways all of our days life, many days time, many days love, many days time, many days life.
It's your life.
Time,
We only get so much.
love,
We all know it's there. So what you gonna do with your time? You are the woman I've always wanted. You are the girl I've always dreamed of. Kellyanne, my life, my girl, my love. You are my wife, you are my song. Don't you belong in my arms, in my arms, Kellyanne. We met the day you came down to the club. I waited for a break, I waited so long enough. You said to me, look here, man, if you're gonna play, then you play on the bandstand. Don't you be thinking you're gonna be drinking with me. Girl, you sure know how to impress a guy. The way you smile, Kelly, you caught my eye. Things would be different if I hadn't seen you. Lord up above knows I'd be singing the blues. Kellyanne, play it, Jimbo. Here's the rest of the story. I kept on pushing you to ask you out. You looked at me and said you ain't got enough clout. But most guys would turn and walk on away. But later that night, Kelly, we went out on a date. Kellyanne, that's what I call mysterious ways. You played me, but we both played the game. But I knew right then when I stepped off that stage, you and I would soon be engaged. Kellyanne, you sure gave life to our song. 25 years now that we've gotten along. I love you, girl, with all of my heart. You're beautiful, you're kind, and oh, so smart. Spend life with me, my little sweet pea, Kellyanne.
Nothing like a good love song. Just saying. So it has been a wonderful show. Thank you so very much for coming on and being a part of my show.
Really, really glad to do it. I've enjoyed myself immensely.
Good, good. And that's all that matters is that I want people to get to know the artists and to just have a lot of fun. If nothing else, just have a lot of fun. Um, Hopefully, when you come out with new stuff, please send it our way, and let's have you back on and just have a lot of fun. Talking about the
Yep.
new music and going places, the new all of the new little the books and the resources. Really, really awesome stuff. You guys check her out. Check her out, please. You have something in your hand. You look like you want to say something. What's going on there?
It's just I'm getting ready. I'm actually going out and camping over at festivals this year,
There you
and
go.
hoping everything just it's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a
It's
good
gonna be
summer.
it is gonna be a very, very good summer. You guys check her out. Go to her website, please, please, please. Remember, you can find her at gingerackley.com, at facebook.com/Ginger Ackley Music. You can find her all over the place at Bandcamp and other places. Check her out, so that you can know exactly where she's gonna be, and go and be there, be a
Yeah.
part of her music for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
I keep my schedule updated, so
There you go. There
come
you
see
go.
me.
There you go. Okay, so you guys just remember, if you want to send me music, you can send it to celticrain777@gmail.com. Remember, just small label, independent artists, and has to be family friendly. If you are not watching on YouTube, you can watch on YouTube on Tuesday nights. That's when I record the show. YouTube.com/C for channel/Celtic Rain, and you can be a part of that show right there. If not, you can always watch it other times. Remember, it is on YouTube. We are also syndicated on 4 different radio stations. This is the Celtic Rain Radio Show. We thank you so much for coming tonight, and we hope that you join us again. And we say good night and goodbye. Bye.